and Republicans are winning. It seemed only a few weeks ago, maybe months ago, that it would be impossible for the Democrats to lose this.
Maximum warfare everywhere, all the time, in connection with the redistricting battle that Republicans launched. I stand by it. You can continue to criticize me for it. I don't give a damn about your criticism.
A few moments later.
Got some more breaking news. This just handed down moments ago from the Virginia State Supreme Court ruling the process to redraw that state's congressional maps is unconstitutional.
No way. Well, headline today, way. There is a way, and it's because of what they do when they don't win, they cheat. So this is the big story today, gerrymandering. This has gone nuclear, and Republicans are winning the gerrymander war. We talked about it last week, but a lot has changed since then. As you know, it started with Texas, your state. Trump said, gerrymander Texas. Okay, so they got like 4 or 5 new seats in Texas. California responded and said, okay, we're going to do the same thing. All right, so now this is a terrible road to go down, but at least we're even. Okay, now the Supreme Court ruled last week on the Voting Rights Act. Everything is different now. 8 states have new maps now, and 5 more are planning to. Texas, Florida, Ohio, Missouri, North Carolina. They're all now more Republican. These states that had districts that minorities were electing candidates from. Virginia did it on the Democratic side, and the Supreme Court in the state said they can't. So that's a big loss for the Democrats. They're not going to get that to even the score. And Tennessee now. Show the map of the Tennessee. This is really what's going on.
Yes, a random leftist woman is outside the VA Supreme Court screaming at the building. I believe you've seen her. She actually got angry because the Supreme Court took a decision to strike this down. Now, there is something more concerning. This influencer, Hassan Piker, is facing calls to be visited by the FBI after he appeared to urge vote revolution at the Virginia Supreme Court, striking down an illegal 10D 1-hour house map.
Just 2 weeks ago, Democrats were bragging that they turned the tables on Republicans and actually were winning the redistricting that the GOP started late last year in Texas. Today, things look really different. The Virginia Supreme Court this morning blocked the Democratic gerrymander plan to flip 4 seats from red to blue. The ruling was on a legislative technicality. The court said Democrats used an unconstitutional process to put the referendum on the ballot. But technicality or not, it's a huge loss for Democrats who spent tens of millions of dollars persuading Virginia voters to approve the new map.
I believe you saw what happened a few hours ago in Virginia. The Supreme Court taking this decision is a devastating blow to Democrats. If you take a look at this, CNN just had to admit it live. Obama and Hakeem Jefferies are cooked after Virginia Democrats tried to steal 4 extra seats with these. 338 million flushed down the drain from Jeffrey Lynn Group's big defeat for the Democrats. You know, I don't know. Everybody is calling out Obama, Hakeem Jeffrey because of the role they play in this state. And it is actually alarming that these people are now speechless because there is absolutely nothing they can do about this.
This is a big blow. Hakeem Jefferies, I basically wrote a column that was like, this was great for Hakeem Jefferies because he was all in on it. $38 million spent from a group affiliated with him. Obama was in on this. And now this is a big defeat. And one of the reasons why Virginia was so important as well was Democrats were anticipating this Supreme Court.
Republican states that have gerrymandered have followed their laws, their state constitutions. Democrats are upset about the Virginia Supreme Court striking down Virginia's new map. The difference is Republicans follow the law. They followed their state laws and their state constitutions. Democrats don't do that. They worked outside of their own laws in Virginia to try and pass this congressional map. I've never really been big on I told you so's, but guys, I told you so. I told you last week that the Supreme Court would strike this down because they did not follow their own laws. Not to mention, when Abigail Spanberger was running for governor, what did she say? Remember? She said no, she was not interested in redistricting. They blatantly lie, not just to their constituents, but to the entire country.
And frankly, there is not a single person alive who thinks that Florida's Supreme Court will uphold that law. Not one. In Louisiana, lawmakers just canceled an ongoing election where 42,000 votes had already been cast so they could redraw their maps and eliminate a district with black representation to dilute black voters' voices. In Tennessee, both Nashville and Memphis have been completely disenfranchised with a map that was redrawn overnight. But in blue states, a liberal state Supreme Court will see a referendum take place where the entire state actually votes for new maps, not just an edict imposed by fiat, but voted on, and still some technicality will prevent it from going into effect. The tragic irony here is that the left, in their eternal desperation to practice good government, will good government themselves into obscurity. And look, it would be one thing if these technicalities applied evenly, but they don't. Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Missouri, Ohio, Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana, and soon South Carolina will all draw their maps on the eve of the election.
Crow lovers all used to say that the South will rise again. Is this what they meant? This is not about elections. This is about white people in the South making sure that black people have no voice.
Yes, you might be thinking Democrat will stop at this. They're still thinking to bring a different strategy in reacting to this. At some point, they are now a laughingstock everywhere on social media based on the things I'm seeing here. You know, Hakeem Jefferies the other day put out a tweet, and when after Republicans F around find out, at the end of the day, they are the one finding out. That is embarrassing, right? Now, look at what just happened within the space of, let's say 3 days. Only win for the Republican Party. Now, let's wait and see what Democrats are going to do. Their moves might still be something that will turn out to be this way. When I look at someone like Gavin Newsom, the tweet he was putting out, we fight fire for fire.
How about stop taking our voting rights away?
Yeah, how about that?
How about that?
Someone said something that actually drew my attention. If you take a look at these, and yet Virginians are still losers, having funded the unconstitutional effort and its attempted legal defense. This is why individuals in government that facilitate unconstitutional actions by their respective government need to be held liable in some way. There is nothing to do this incentivized, and citizens pay a price no matter what. It acts backward. This is actually what they did here. These people should understand that if you are part of this, you are the problem. If Democrats battle for their policies instead of battling with hate for Trump as their motivations, they might actually accomplish things until the hate in them makes a positive turn.
You get caught in a moment, and you can't always.
Their temper passes the 1,005.
It's always hip hop the videos and share out. They highly recommend videos on this channel for people who ask me, why do you put on short videos at the end? That is for the white algorithm.
To live on the sidewalk.
Right. Spencer Pratt, who's running for mayor of Los Angeles.
Who's doing a great job.
Unable to laugh at him.
Inside, they started out.
It'll be fun.
More access to the leader of the free world.
This week, which was the state of Virginia, they gerrymandered the state.
Redistricting. It's going to lose their congressional representation. How do you think?
Until the first lady brought them back with her surprise statement last week.
How does this benefit?
I'm an actor.
Creative content.
Why are you not looking forward to the White House fight?
Well, it's kind of a gimmick.
I have 300.
Well, I said Democrat.